Hello friends, thanks for joining me. Today I am scrapping for Bramble Fox and I'm going to be using this lovely lockdown piece from the new March Fox box. And it's going to be quite an easy layout just because um, I just really wanted to focus on the topic, which was a birthday. And I know everyone's going to be celebrating birthdays quite differently under lockdown. So I had this idea to make some big presents. So actually, it came together really quickly and easily. So to begin with, I am going to add a few splatters to my background, as you can see. I am trying to stick to my to myself to use a pizza box to do this because I seem to have tiny little spatters over my lovely great big mat on my desk, and I promised I was going to keep it clean. um, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be creating some presents on my background, and I'm using the Simple Stories Bro & Co, which I absolutely love and have been hoarding, but I think my dog. But let me tell you a bit of background actually. It was my husband's birthday, believe it or not, but my dog thought it was his, I think, because as he tried to open any presents, my dog, Mack, he just stuck his nose in everything. Um, we joked actually that maybe we'd wrapped up some sausages and that's why he was so keen, but we hadn't. Anyway, it was such a cute little situation, and I just captured a few photos, although actually probably captured quite a few on my phone. So the idea of presents and the dog sticking his nose in, it was just the cutest situation. So first of all, I've just cut out some simple shapes, a rectangle, and I'm going to dress it up with a bit of ribbon to turn it into a present. So this is something really you could do at home so quickly once you've got the idea. And then your fiddly bit really was trying to line everything up so that it looks square, which I find kind of difficult when I'm recording because I kind of need to be over the item to see if it's square or not, and then of course that would put my head in the frame, so I try not to. I've also matted the photo onto some of the pattern papers from the kit because I bought the collection kit, and just some coordinating cardstock. And I'm just going to use a few ribbons from my stash just to dress those up. I don't often do kind of straightforward layouts. I kind of tend to add a lot of detail, but I think when I got to the end of this process, I felt like, well, you know what, less is more sometimes, and so that's what I've gone with. Let everything else speak for itself. Now, in hindsight, I think I should have swapped the ribbons over because the dotted ribbon on the plaid background doesn't show up so well, but I kind of liked it anyway. Didn't offend me at least. I don't mind when you mix patterns as long as the patterns have something to connect them together. And the colour of the blue in this really did connect to that blue in the plaid pattern paper. I'm just letting my spatters dry, so this is why I'm doing this first. So I want to top my presents off with a couple of bows, of course. So I've made a couple of bows there off camera, just to speed things up a little bit. And I used a Bramble Fox die, so die number 6, to create this lovely cute tag. The little tag also has a little tag topper. I love a little tag topper. So you'll find in the die number 6 set that all the tags, I think there's 8 pieces altogether, including the tag topper, but they all can be mixed and matched so that you can use the tag topper excuse me, on any of the tags, And also the little die cut love or home, they can also be used in any of the little tags as well, which is kind of cool. So you can see everything is now dry, and that's kind of the composition I'm going for. Very, very cute large presents. And then, excuse me, it's early in the morning here. So I have fussy cut some of the stars from one of the pattern papers in the Brow & Co. And you kind of get the idea of where I'm going with this, that I'm going to have a swash of stars going diagonally across the page. And hopefully this adds the movement that I'm looking for on the page, that it will draw your eye across the page and down so you see everything. And I love it when you have a really clear idea of how you want to create a layout. I all too often really can't decide, and mostly my scrapbooking style evolves as I go along. But I did really kind of have a clear vision of what I wanted today. And besides that fact, I had to have my layout done for tomorrow, so that always helps focus the mind, I think. So I was just wondering whether I should have an extra little bit of twine for that tag, but I didn't want it too fussy. I kind of wanted to create a real graphic effect for this layout. But normally I would have had other little bits and pieces galore to finish off. But sometimes, as I mentioned, less is more. So I'm just attaching my bows there with my glue. I use a Beacon's 3-in-1 glue. And I find, it's a bit like glossy accents, only a little bit more thick, and it kind of goes a bit stringy. It definitely goes stringy. What I like about it is that it does seem to stick everything, so you can see I'm sticking down those bows, but it will also adhere the perspectives, the acrylic perspectives, it quite easily, which is brilliant. So I tend to, just apart from paper, I'll have a paper glue. I just use the Beacon's 3-in-1 now because it just covers everything. I think you just have to put up those little stringy bits. It does get everywhere sometimes. And the other good thing is that it does peel off really easily. I think it kind of goes a bit like rubber, so you can let it dry and it will rub off. That's my personal opinion anyway. So I'm going to stick down, which is really amazing for me because I'm a fapper. And on the perspectives, you can see there that it comes with a vinyl film. I'd already removed the film from the front, and I like to remove it from the back. It's not absolutely necessary, but sometimes, because it's kind of a real vinyl, I find that the glue won't adhere as well as it does the acrylic. So you can see here, I am trying to remove the little strings from the glue that the glue's left behind. And it's got a lot of open time, so even though I'd put the glue on the back of the acrylic, you'll find that you've still got time to move it about, adhere it and give it a good press down, and that will stick beautifully. You can use the same glue for paper, but I tend to just use another PVA type glue. A lot less messy. So I'm just sticking those stars down as I mentioned, and really that's more or less it. It's just now down to a little bit more embellishing and finishing off my title. Now I did kind of make a mistake here because I've forgot that I wanted to put some of the title above my present, the birthday element. And in hindsight, I wish I'd have moved those stars out of the way to allow for the extra bit of my title. But I got in the moment and then completely forgot. So I love the little stars. Stars are one of my favourite things to add to a page. And I just use some star punches that I have just to add a few more. And I just wanted a little bit more teal because my title, the lockdown title, is a mint colour. So I just wanted something a little bit more teal just to coordinate with the title a little. And I'm just using some nice holographic alphas that I have just to finish off my title. So ultimately my title is going to be Birthday, Lockdown version 2 style. So I just needed some small alphas then just to complete that. It's nice to have a different title for a change. And I find with the Bramble Fox perspective titles, it kind of spurs me into some ideas. Because all too often I look at a blank page and think, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to scrap. And then I look at the title and think, oh, I could scrap that. So I kind of probably do it in reverse. That's probably years of working on a design team where you have to work with the collection or work with the topic or have an assignment of some sort. So I find it difficult just to look at a blank page now and come up with something. Much better to have a little springboard with a title or a little challenge or a sketch or so on. So these are the 12x12 cardstock stickers from the Brown Code collection. As I say, although I've got my son's no longer a teenager, but it's you don't really get enough male collections in my opinion. And this one was just really, really cool. So I'll go back and scrap some old photos, although he stopped having his photo taken in about when he was 12, I think. Typical teenage boy, I think. So I'm just using some of the stickers really to add a little more detail around my photos. It's already looking quite busy, so I do need some large areas so that your eyes got a bit of somewhere to rest. But this is more or less it. I'm going to add this last foam sticker to my page. And off camera, I'm going to add some more little stars just because I can. And one or two of the little bits and pieces. But as I say, I did this whole layout start to finish in one session, which was amazing. And I'm going to leave you with some close-ups, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it and will subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.